Welcome to the 4 to 5. I'm Lauren Coleman. We got Eric Chilton and Stacy Spivey. Happy Friday, Junior.
Oh yeah, thank you for joining us here on WFMY News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFMY News 2 app. We are starting off with a live look at radar and wind gust from earlier. The video was shot near Battleground Avenue and Wendover.
Yeah, you can see trees blowing around. You can see the street lights there doing that, stoplights. And yeah, it was bad. I mean, wind gusts at some points were up to 50 miles per hour at times. We could see that continuing as we head into the night, but really the majority of this, as you can see, is moving to the east. And just in case you're wondering, I'll slip this over for you. That red area there near Durham and Raleigh, that is a tornado warning until 4:15. Again, that's not in our area. That is outside of our viewing area, but that's in the Triangle area. And it's actually very close to Raleigh-Durham International Airport. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that and just kind of so we'll know what's happening down east. All this is moving away from us. We're left with basically gradually clearing skies as we head into the overnight hours, and we'll probably see the winds hang in there tomorrow, maybe 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts staying with us on Friday before it really calms down on Saturday. That cold front is the culprit. That's moving by. We don't think any of that precipitation from the system back behind it will get to us. The high pressure moves in, and we end up with a decent weekend for the most part. Tonight we look for that evening shower. We'll see clearing skies, and again, the winds hanging in there, 10 to 15 out of the west, and they'll be gusting up to 30 miles per hour. The long-range outlook here, let's go ahead and give you the 7-day. You're looking at 68 degrees for your Friday. That's not bad. Sunshine, and winds will still be up there as we mentioned. Then mid to upper 60s, a nice weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Monday and Tuesday topping out in the low 70s. We'll stay in the low 70s Wednesday, Thursday. Looks like by next week, especially for Wednesday, Thursday, rain chances back up to a 40 to 50% chance.
Stay weather aware by keeping our free WFMY News 2 app close. It's easy to download from either the Apple Store or Google Play. There you'll have the latest weather updates right in the palm of your hands.
We're just 48 hours away from what some are calling the baddest blue battle in sports history. The face-off between Carolina and Duke is going down this Saturday in New Orleans.
The Tar Heels left yesterday and the Blue Devils left earlier this week.
Yep, so here's a picture that was posted this morning of Carolina. We'll show you that in just a second. Stepping off the plane, there it is. That's R.J. Davis right there, the guard. He's got the game face on, no smiles, just straight seriousness there. And earlier this week, Duke made their trip. Here's a pic of Wendell Moore, the Blue Devils 6'5" forward, who went to high school in Concord, North Carolina.
WFMY News 2 is also headed to NOLA, covering all of this weekend's action. Our crews are following Duke and UNC to the Final Four and covering the big championship. For highlights, March Madness, and memorable moments, stick with us on WFMY News 2, both on air and online.
If you're a diehard heel not traveling to New Orleans, you can watch the game at the Dean Smith Center. You'll just have to pay $5 for parking. Food, drinks, and gear will also be available. Duke is also having a watch party just for students inside Cameron Indoor Stadium. The event is closed to the public.
All right, if you're headed to either of those watch parties, you know there's only about 8 to 10 miles, depending on where you start and stop that measurement, separating UNC and Duke, the campuses there, depending on which route you take, of course. Many know Highway 15501, and some call Highway 40, I-40 too, as Tobacco Road. You can always tell which side you're on.
You know, I don't go to the Carolina side that often. Yeah, we know where they are. We know where the enemy is.
I love it. You know, it's just one of the things where it's part of the tradition and it's part of the sport.
While the warring fans don't agree on much, one thing is for certain: the love and passion for both sides runs deep. That's an understatement. That's
I mean,
true.
It's so crazy how close these schools are, and to see them both play in the Final Four against each other is just, it's so wild.
I also love the fact that 2 of the Final 4 are ACC teams, and it could have been 3 if Miami had kept going.
That would have been.
It's amazing, and the ACC took a lot of heat in the beginning of the year. They were saying they're not as strong as they normally are, and we weren't from a teams being ranked standpoint, but toward the end of the season, Virginia Tech, you know, is in there, Miami was in there, Carolina, Duke. I mean, we had a decent showing.
I'm just excited for this tournament. You know, we've been covering this the last few days since Monday, you know, so I'm really excited to see how they do this weekend.
By the way, if you drive this fast between Carolina and Duke, you're in trouble.
Oh yeah,
Just
absolutely.
want to make sure you know that.
Slow down.
A little
Drive
bit of a speed up.
the speed
Yeah,
limit.
I'm just ready for this game to get here already,
I
right?
am too.
I mean, we've been talking about it every day, and I'm just ready for it to be Saturday night, ready to know who's going to move on to the championship.
I'm going to try to be there in the Dean Dome. We'll see if we can get in or not. It's
I
tough.
feel like we just need to check on you.
You probably
He's been checking online for like hotels and stuff
have.
all week. I'm like, shouldn't you be doing your work? He's like,
You're like, hold on, this is first. Tell the boss. I promise you,
It's a
I'll
big
get to it.
deal. Well, you can just say, hey, I'll just report from it too.
I could
Hey.
do that. We could do
Yeah.
that.
All right, let's go ahead and switch gears and get to your 4 to 5 roundup. A man is in custody after police say it took 5 hours to get him to come outside. Officers say it happened today at a home on Loudermilk Street near Cameron Avenue. They say Tremaine James barricaded himself inside but later surrendered peacefully. Officers say the investigation is criminal but didn't release the charges. This is a developing story. We'll keep you updated. Today, President Joe Biden updated the nation on efforts to cut gasoline prices. He plans on releasing 1 million barrels of oil a day from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve over the next 6 months. The president also called for Congress to impose a policy on oil companies who have drill permits but aren't using them. Today, the White House released a video in support of Transgender Day of Visibility. The day is set aside to focus on advancing equality for transgender people across American society. The president announced several new measures to make the federal government more inclusive. One change is a new X gender marker on U.S. passport applications beginning April 11th. The administration is also working to expand the availability of the X gender marker to airlines and federal travel programs. Well, just in time for spring break, the CDC lifted all cruise ship advisories. 2 years ago, the agency issued a warning about the ships being high risks for COVID infection. The advisory was a major blow to cruise lines across the country. Companies hope this lift will give their businesses the boost they need.
Wet and Wild Emerald Point in Greensboro is looking to fill more than 600 seasonal positions. Open positions include lifeguards, food service, retail, and park services. The park will host its first job fair of the 2022 season this Saturday at the main gate. With the park opening its doors to the public a weekend earlier this year, directors say they need more employees than ever.
Past years prior to the pandemic, we, had so many applicants come through. And then there was a shortage of that, last year. So we really had to push our hiring efforts. Again, we increased the pay. We're including these additional perks that we've never had before.
Hired applicants can earn up to $13 an hour depending on their position. Lifeguards will receive a $100 bonus after their first 2 weeks of work. Those who fill out an application have the chance to win $100 Amazon gift cards and 4 free admission tickets to share with friends and family this season.
We're really stepping up our employee incentives within the park. And we're trying to show everyone that this is not only, a summer job, that it can turn into a career. Most all of the management has started out as a seasonal employee.
The job fair runs from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. this Saturday. You must be at least 15 to apply. Wet and Wild Emerald Park Point opens May 21st.
So my twins worked there last summer.
Okay.
Both
Oh,
of them. And they made good money. I mean, they said the money was good, and they were there, I don't know, 2 months, or 2.5 months of the season, something like that. So you can make some money.
And especially if you're a teenager, $13 an hour,
Right.
That is a lot of money right there. You can save up for a car. And I also like how she talked about, you can potentially make a career out of this. And she also was saying like the skills that you'll learn here, even if you don't want to stay working at the park, you can apply that to other job fields as well.
Yeah, this is such a staple here. I mean, even my husband, who's from Roanoke, Virginia, said that they would come down here sometimes to go to Wet and Wild. So he has a lot of memories there. But a great opportunity for teens to have a good job and also get a good tan this summer, right?
Not a bad thing.
Right?
Not a bad
I wouldn't
thing.
be mad about it.
And I'm sure a lot more people are going to be out there, restrictions,
yes.
Oh,
have
yes.
loosened and everything like that. So they're going to need those workers to be able to, hold down the fort.
And it's a huge park, so the need is big, right? So there are lots of jobs available, but they fill up fast with teens, so you need to go like now, reach
Yeah.
out to them as soon as possible.
There's also another need,
What?
warmer weather.
Yes.
We'll work on that.
Okay, sounds
I'm
good.
holding you to it.
In the 70s next week. We're getting there. We're getting there. We'll be back.
After being delayed because of a coronavirus wave, the 64th Grammy Awards will take place Sunday night right here on WFMY News 2.
This year, the Grammys has a new venue and several North Carolinians have a shot to take home an award.
Very big here. Danya Bacchus gives us a look at what you can expect from music's biggest night.
Music's biggest night will have a new look again. For the first time in Grammy history, the award show is taking place in Las Vegas. Trevor Noah is back as the host.
It's going to be as intimate as last year's, but then with a certain air of relaxation that we didn't get the luxury of having last time around.
This year, jazz artist and Late Show with Stephen Colbert bandleader John Baptiste leads the nominations with 11, including Album and Record of the Year. But it's newcomer Olivia Rodrigo, who is expected to win big with 7 nominations.
Olivia was the breakout artist of last year. She had the killer song, she had the killer story, she had the familiarity from being in High School Musical.
Along with Rodrigo, BTS, Lil Nas X, Billie Eilish, Brothers Osborne, and Her are just some of the artists expected to perform.
This year, I'm excited to see anybody on stage because I think that's what makes the Grammys amazing is it's basically, you know, the year's biggest all-round concert.
This year's award show doesn't come without a little drama. Rapper Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, has been barred from performing, but with 5 Grammy nods, he can still attend the show.
Not all of the awards he is nominated for are in the main show, but Album of the Year certainly is. And if he wins that or a different televised award, again, he can walk up, he can say heaven knows what.
Rock group Foo Fighters is nominated for 3 Grammys and was scheduled to perform, but canceled all of their upcoming tour dates due to the untimely death of drummer Taylor Hawkins.
I'm gonna have to let y'all lead this conversation since I know about that much about today's music.
I was saying the same thing when I was watching it back. I said, you know what, I need to really tune in so I can learn about more of these artists, because you know you're pretty familiar with a lot of these.
I mean, yeah, the big pop ones at least, BTS, the Korean pop group.
Okay.
Yep.
I like them. Olivia Rodrigo, Her. I also like
her.
Billie Eilish. I think
I do
Billie
like Billie
Eilish
Eilish.
just has this angelic voice. She just blows my mind every time I hear her perform.
Well, she's
like
so
she did
deep.
at the Oscars.
Her stuff is so deep. I mean, she writes her own stuff at that age. That's pretty.
And
I
she
know
has
her.
good like stage presence
Yes.
too.
Oh, she's amazing. And she's so humble about it too. I think that's why I like her. She's kind of quirky, and then like they're like you're so amazing. She's just like, I just can't believe I'm here. Like, this is weird.
Isn't she close with her brother too? She talks about her brother all the time.
they write all
Together.
of her stuff together.
I like how
Phineas.
Trevor Noah was saying it's like a huge concert with just different types of music that you can tune into, because we all know a little bit of the people that they were talking about, and some we hadn't heard of before.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people love the Grammys. It's their favorite award show because it's such a big entertainment kind of performance.
And you get to see every style, right? I mean, there are awards pretty much for every style out there. So
Yeah.
it's funny when you go look at the actual list of the Grammys, there's so much more you don't see.
Yeah.
Like you need to actually go and read some of the awards that people get that you didn't even know was a category.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and really quickly, I do want to mention the North Carolinians. There are several that are nominated.
Okay.
J. Cole is nominated,
Okay.
and then also another one that people probably would know of, Luke Combs. He's a country singer,
Okay.
so both from North Carolina.
Nice.
Well, hopefully they'll take home the prize.
That's what we're waiting on. All right, we'll take a break. You talk to us on Facebook, talk about that. Anything else you want to talk about, we'll be back. Hello, Facebook.
Hi, Facebook. It's been a hot minute.
It has been a while.
We haven't talked to you. We've just been busy. There's been a lot happening in this world.
I'm logging in right now to see what is everybody chatting about here.
What are y'all chatting about, Facebook
Somebody's
friends?
asking about the weather this evening. It's pretty much calmed down. Well, the wind, right?
The wind is still there, but we're great as far as like no more threats for us for any type of tornado or thunderstorm activity, because it was nip and tuck there for a while today. We were looking at that tornado warning about, I think it was 115-ish maybe, 120. We had that, and yeah, it's all good now. Raleigh, we're still dealing. In fact, I'll look at it real quick.
The wind was whipping around a lot this morning,
it was
even at like
raining.
6 a.m.
Yeah.
Did you hear that last night? It was like
I did.
that howl.
Really?
The
Oh, I didn't even hear it.
The wind gust in Winston, in Greensboro is 51 today, the maximum wind gust. So if you could, I don't know, Brad, you probably can't bring up the Max 2, can you? We've still down east though. It's a mess. That tornado warning near Raleigh, that was
he pulled
near.
it up.
There it is. That was near the airport. When we zoomed in on that, it was really close to RDU. It'll be past RDU now. Oh, look at that. They just updated that and they extended it north up into Franklin and Granville County. So down east still dealing with this, but we're pretty much in the clear, guys.
That's good to know. Actually, you're doing weather next, so people get another update.
Let's get this.
Well, if you were watching on Facebook just now, you got the forecast already. We'll do it again for you. See, there's good stuff on Facebook that you don't get on air. You need to tune in. All right, here's our temperatures. 72 in High Point, 71 in Greensboro, 67 in Asheboro. All the arrows moving along here that we're showing you, that's basically the winds, and they're coming out of where? The southwest, so a warmer flow for us. They were really kicking up earlier today, still pretty gusty. I mean, these wind gusts within the last hour or so, 31 in Greensboro, 24 Winston-Salem, 25 Asheboro. Look at RDU, a 50-mile-an-hour wind gust. Now, that's where we were telling you they had a tornado warning right by the airport there in the Raleigh area. Not sure if there was, we don't see confirmation on that yet, but that is something we'll be watching. Now, the maximum wind gust for the whole day today, and this won't surprise some of you, 51 miles per hour in Greensboro. This morning, I don't know if you heard that, but it was howling out there. And in some cases, literally, it sounded like the howl of a wolf. We were like, what is that noise outside? So it was really bad for a while. Some of these other gusts, 39 in Salisbury, that's up there. Galax and Boone at 41. The winds will continue, although not that strong, but they will continue as we head into tomorrow. Here goes that system to the east, and it's moving quickly. The tornado situation, the warning that we had earlier today, which was not confirmed, that system, that cell was moving at 70 miles per hour. That's very fast for our neck of the woods. And here's where it is now. This system triggering a tornado warning down east. That's toward Franklin and Granville County to the north of Raleigh. The big picture here, all of this will be moving by. Probably not expecting anything else in the way of a heavier shower. In fact, I think we'll gradually clear out overnight. This cold front goes away. Still windy for your Friday. Heading into Saturday, Sunday, it's really nice. Temperatures about where they should be this time of the year as that high pressure comes in, and we'll look for sunny to partly cloudy skies. Not bad. Here's a 7-day forecast. Mid-60s and windy Friday. Mid-60s, less windy on Saturday. A nice Sunday at 68 with lots of sun there. A few clouds Monday ahead of the next system and a high of 70. We've got some late day showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm and 72 on Tuesday. Best rain chances as we head into Wednesday, Wednesday really, 40 and 60% chance. With a warmer day by next Wednesday, might even see a late day thunderstorm with that pop-up variety, but 60% chance and a high of 74.
Welcome back to the 4 to 5. It's National Prom Day, and it also happens to be Throwback Thursday, so let's go ahead and take a walk down memory lane. First up, this is my senior prom photo back in 2009. It's me and my friend Lauren. We've actually been friends since we were 3 years old.
Aww.
Fun times.
Look at that baby face.
That's before highlights, and I knew how to do my eyebrows. Next up, the lovely Lauren Coleman. Look at that pink.
This was a 2009, so this was my junior prom, my junior year. I was also running track, so I had the little like tan lines on my shoulders, but I loved this dress.
I love that color.
Yeah, coral.
Pretty.
Little baby Lauren. And then look at this.
Speaking
Eric
of baby
Coleman.
face.
You
But
look
that's
like
not your prom.
No, so this was right after college, I think my first year after college. And the reason I don't have the prom picture is a weird story, but they wouldn't allow us. You had to be, it was a junior senior prom, so you had to be a junior or senior. I was a junior dating a sophomore, so they wouldn't let me take my girlfriend, so we didn't go to the prom, so that's as close as I got there.
You look like your twin.
Oh my gosh, they look just like you.
It's true.
Or they look like you in this photo.
It's
Yeah.
very true.
Okay, and here's our wonderful producer, Kate.
Yes.
At her prom back in 2013 in her Vera Wang dress.
Giving that leg.
Beautiful.
I love this. Gorgeous, Kayana.
So pretty. Okay, next up, News 2 reporter Jenna Krasina.
Oh, she's
and guess what? That's her
cute.
boyfriend to this day. They've been together
Really?
10 years.
I did not know
Wedding
that.
bells are coming
And
soon.
I know. Well, and then I heard that this is how they started dating. She asked him to that prom.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that the ring should be coming soon, right?
yeah.
Should we pressure
10
him a little
years,
bit on
yes.
TV?
Cute as a button.
Come on, Colton. I'm
right.
just kidding. Okay, next up, one of our directors, Brett Anderson, in his prom attire supporting his favorite team, the Rangers.
He loves
Rangers.
sports. That's
He
too
does.
funny.
I
Yes,
know.
he
He
does.
told me, guys, that so he has worn that jersey or some kind of Rangers jersey for big events in his life, like prom and graduation, for graduation, high school graduation and college
That's
graduation.
an understanding
And,
girlfriend
and
right
her
there.
dress matches.
Very
Yes,
coordinated.
that's true. I didn't even think about
Yeah,
that.
love it. Okay, next, this is Martha at her prom back in 1960. She says it was a beautiful light pink dress with green and rose pink embroidery.
That is so beautiful. When I think of a classic prom dress, that
Oh,
is what I
yeah.
think of. The big
Yes.
ruffles, you know, the princess-like look.
Yeah, with the like details like that. And look at the guy's outfit too.
I
like
love
his
the way they
tux.
dress
Yeah,
back
got
then.
the
That's so
cummerbund
cool.
and bow
Yep.
tie.
I wish we still did that. Okay, next up, Rhonda shared this photo from her prom in 1978. That looks like something that people would wear now, right?
Yes.
That's so back in style.
Like it's cycled back
crazy.
around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the
that's-
more slimmer dresses.
And then
right?
the I don't even know what you call that style of the bottom of the dress, how it's like tiered.
And I love her hair too.
So fun. Okay, next up, the girl in the middle. Do you recognize her?
Yes, that's one of
Michaela.
our directors, Michaela.
That's right. Look, she looks so beautiful in that purple with all her friends. And last but not least,
Chad Silver.
Chad Silver.
Check him out.
He looks like he should be like in a Backstreet Boys or NSYNC
So
video
great.
with that spiky hair.
I mean, with the hair, you can guess that the year was 2000,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
The millennium. Oh, prom. Do y'all have a favorite prom memory,
It's
maybe?
got the TV smile.
Just, you know, going to dinner with your friends, taking the limo, all of those good things. And I actually like the post-prom activities too. That was a
So
lot of
much
fun.
fun.
So one of my friends, we did like a movie night at her house, and her mom had already ordered pizzas, and we all came back and played games, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I told Stacy my story. It's so weird.
What is it?
So the girl that I went to who I was dating, I couldn't go to the prom with my senior year because she had already been asked. We started dating after this guy had asked her. And so and then the same thing with one of my other friends. So they went as friends, and when the prom was over with, then I went with my girlfriend to the post-prom parties.
Oh, high
Yep.
school love.
So did he not have another friend he could have taken?
Well, that's what I
or-
thought. You know, I said, and she even said, you know, look, I'm going to the prom with you. It's fine. And I thought maybe he'd back it, but he said, well, I'll just go to the prom. You guys dance when you want to. I don't care. I just want to be there and have
He
fun.
just needed the
I
picture.
said, okay. So I went with a friend, and then at the end of the night, my girlfriend and I went to the parties.
Aw.
So weird.
So fun. Well,
Mount
happy
Airy.
National Prom Day.
I just can't get
From
over
the
this hair.
WFMY News 2 prom king, Chad Silver.
We leave you with this. We'll be right back. happy music. I like that.
Like the
Brad
whistling.
picked that out, I guess. Welcome to the 4 to 5. I'm Eric Chilton here with Stacey Spivey and Lauren Coleman.
We are having such a great time leading up to the big game this weekend, but thank you for joining us here on WFMY News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the News 2 app.
As Stacey said, we are just 2 days away from the epic face-off between Carolina and Duke down in the Big Easy. Take a look at the clock. Well, we had a clock that was ticking to that countdown. And Eric, I know you've been on 10 for the last couple of days. How are your nerves now?
So I feel better today. It took me a couple days. You know, Monday, Tuesday were rough. By today, now I'm just like, whatever happens, happens. I can't control it. I'm going to watch it and cheer as hard as I can. So if you're like me and Saturday's game kind of has you on the edge of the seat, even though I'm still teetering a little bit. Dr. Dan Gutterman with Cone Health says sports-related worry isn't the same as harmful stress.
Different than the worry. I mean, the genuine worry that we have over some of these other more serious issues going on in the world right now. So are people nervous? Yes, but it's a fun kind of nervous, and especially this whole week leading up to it, where it's the real nervousness is going to be at the game itself or during the game itself. But leading up to it, most people are just really having fun with it all.
Yeah, I'm that person just having fun. I'm going to be at the viewing party relaxing because I don't really have a side. So
That's a nice, comfortable place to be in and just go, oh, I hope the game's good, you know?
I think the only people that are truly going to have like actual stress are the two coaches and the
Brad,
players.
And Brad, our director.
Yeah.
He's
going to be vacuuming a lot.
He'll pull for them both to lose. He's a state guy. Dr. Gutterman also says that people use superstitions and rituals sometimes to help ease the nerves. Check out what he's wearing around the office in hopes to send the winning vibes over to his team.
For me personally, being a big basketball fan, I tend to not let these things, I try to manage my enthusiasm and my fanaticism for my team just by trying to stay calm, and I do things ritually to make sure that that my team is going to win. So personally, I think that I find it helpful to do certain things that really help my team. And so, I just want to point that out, that I tend not to let this stuff get to me too much.
He is like the coolest doctor ever.
What so cool.
just happened?
So
that was funny.
He's a friend of mine, and our photographer Manning that I usually work with said, you got to watch what Dr. Gutterman did, and I went and watched the clip. I was dying that he did that in the middle of the interview.
That
I
is
love
hilarious.
That's funny.
So funny. All right, so wherever you're watching the game, WFMY News 2 has you covered, that's for sure. Our crews are following Duke and UNC to the Final Four in New Orleans. We'll have all the highlights of March Madness for you on both on WFMY News 2, both on air and online. All right, we got to talk about a forecast real quick. See what's going on with that. We've got some rain out there that's moving out quickly. And when I say quickly, I mean really fast. Normally these systems, they'll move 20, 30 miles per hour. This one earlier today was moving at 70 miles per hour. That means not the winds in it, it means the entire system was moving that fast. So if you were to track one rain cell, it was moving at 70 miles per hour to the northeast. All of this has cleared our area. Could we see a sprinkle or two? Yes, absolutely. You see a little bit of a disturbance up there toward Allegheny, Ash, and Watauga County. So you could see a little more rain, but for the most part, we think the majority of this is just a sprinkle or two, and then it'll be gradual clearing overnight. Now, winds will still be a problem. All of this is moving to the east. It is weakening a bit. There was a tornado warning early around Raleigh that has since expired, and now we're just waiting for this to get off the coast. So the majority of this rain is over with for us. It'll be a headache for the Sandhills and Coastal Plain basically for the next, say, 6 or 7 hours, and then we'll all clear up. So the cold front moves away. Winds stay in tomorrow, so look for those wind gusts. Today we had gusts up to 51 miles per hour. We expect it to hover around 30 miles per hour for gusts tomorrow, and then we'll calm down as we head into Saturday. That high pressure pretty much in control. Here's what it looks like tonight with that evening shower, that 51-degree overnight low, and then your 7-day forecast looking like this: mid-60s for Friday and Saturday. We've got upper 60s on Sunday. Pleasant conditions to end the weekend. Next week, how about some 70s? Low 70s Monday, Tuesday, mid-70s on Wednesday, and then by Thursday we'll see 72 degrees. Look for the best rain chance the middle of next week.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. A man is in custody after police say it took 5 hours to get him to come outside. Officers say it happened today at a home on Loudermilk Street near Cameron Avenue. They say Tremaine James barricaded himself inside, but later surrounded peacefully. Officers say the investigation is criminal, but didn't release the charges. This is a developing story. We'll keep you posted. Right now, voter applications for a group of North Carolinians are on hold. The State Board of Elections has ordered all counties not to process felon voting applications. This comes after a panel of North Carolina judges rejected state law earlier this week, banning voting by felons on probation, parole, or those with fines. The judges said the law was unconstitutional, but state election officials aren't approving the applications yet. They say they want to make sure everything is ordered before they do so. Voters head to the polls in less than 2 months, and in Greensboro, the race for mayor is taking a key focus. You have a chance to hear from the candidates this weekend. We're partnering with Delta Sigma Theta sorority and UNCG to host a debate this Sunday at 4 p.m. And our very own Ben Briscoe is the moderator. You can watch it on all of our Facebook, YouTube, and Roku pages. If you want to be there in person, the event is free. We have more of those details up on our website.
Many of us were shocked to hear the news out of Hollywood about actor Bruce Willis. You probably know him from the Die Hard movies or maybe The Sixth Sense. His family announced the 67-year-old will step away from acting after being diagnosed with aphasia. She wants to know more about what aphasia is. Dr. Lauren Peruski is a neurologist with Novant Health. She says aphasia is an impairment in language, whether that be understanding or speaking. It's usually a symptom of something much larger, like a stroke or brain tumor. It's also a form of dementia. Dr. Peruski says aphasia from strokes or brain tumors are common and usually treatable, but primary progressive aphasia from dementia is very rare and usually doesn't improve.
It is very unfortunate, but does bring a lot of awareness to aphasia and this important neurologic symptom that can sometimes be overlooked or ignored by people that don't know that this could be a serious neurological problem.
Willis's family has not said what caused his aphasia, but we haven't seen the last of his acting. According to CBS News, Willis has been shooting many projects leading up to this announcement, and some are expected to be released this year. There is a support group here called Club Aphasia of the Triad, led by speech-language pathology faculty members of UNC Greensboro. They meet via Zoom on the first and third Tuesday of each month, and we do have more information linked about it on our website, WFMYnews2.com. So I learned a lot today about this. It's not just from, a brain tumor or stroke. This can be a form of dementia. And actually the neurologist I spoke with said that her team is speculating that that's probably the form that he has because it's something that is progressive and it gets worse a long time, whereas a stroke or a brain tumor, it's kind of like a sudden onset.
So he's probably known about this for a while, but just waited and then decided to release the information. I hated to hear this because I'm a big fan. Huge fan of all of his movies, and you hate to hear something like this. First of all, I didn't know he was 67 years old.
Yeah, he looks great.
He does not look like 67.
He does not.
And it's with something like this that impacts your speech, and that's what you do when you act. You use your speech, but he's so talented that I feel like even if he were to lose his, voice in some way, they could still use him in movies for something.
He could do a certain role, certain type of role. All right, so we wanted to celebrate his career and not have all the bad news. We wanted to ask you your favorite Bruce Willis movie, and I said leave out the Die Hard series. Some people still said Die Hard. Here's what you had to say. Candace said, The Sixth Sense was my favorite movie, and I loved his TV series Moonlighting. So did I. Love that. MD Moore said, I really liked Last Man Standing. I had forgotten about that one, as well as The Whole Nine Yards. David Hess said, The Last Boy Scout. Richard said, I liked him on the Look Who's Talking series when he voiced Mikey. In case you didn't know, he did that. Wendy said The Kid and Sixth Sense. By the way, we got a lot of Moonlighting and Sixth Sense. Those are probably the two most popular, and Christy said the same thing at Sixth Sense. I thought that movie was phenomenal, but he's been in so many things.
So many. I mean, the list goes on and on. My favorite would have to be The Kid.
That was great.
I know all the words to that movie by heart.
Really?
It was one of the movies that I would play throughout the night when I was a kid to help me fall asleep.
Oh, really?
So that's a good one.
I mean, when I was thinking about Bruce Willis and what I remember about him and what I know about him, I thought more about his personal life, I guess, because I'm always interested in entertainment news, and so everything from like he was with Demi Moore for a long time. They have children like Willis, who is now a successful actress herself, and then even though they got divorced and he's remarried with other kids, it's like they're such a great example of a combined family and co-parenting.
Yes.
I mean, they still celebrate each other all the time. So I thought that was admirable.
It's interesting too, one of our producers pointed out to us in the morning meeting that he has a wiki page just for his filmography because there's so much of it. It's not a part of his regular wiki page.
We were just listing him off in the morning meeting. We're like, oh, and he was in this, and he was in this.
You forget all the stuff he's been in, so much stuff. Anyway, check it out. Go watch a Bruce Willis clip, your favorite movie. We'll be right back.
Hello. Hey, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together like a classic combination.
I guess.
All right, friends, here's the question for everyone. What makes a good driver? This, of course, is your opinion. Think on it while I tell you what the folks on Facebook had to say about it. All right, let's look. Bet says people that don't play with their phone, talking on it or texting. Joyce followed up with someone who knows how to use turn signals. I so agree, Joyce. All right, Rick says somebody who keeps their focus on driving, not being distracted by their phone or anything else. Also, someone who drives carefully and respectfully, especially not driving in the passing lane all the time. Okay, so now that we've heard from them, what do you think makes a good driver?
Turn signals. That is a pet peeve of mine when people do not put on their flashes, and I'm like, you're getting in front of me. I didn't know you were trying to do that. So.
Right, like that you should have known. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
That's my number one is riding in the left lane when you're going too slow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And every time, if I pass somebody in the right lane, I just glare at them as I go by.
You should know better.
Please.
I mean, I have personal pet peeves, but I think a good driver is someone that I guess goes the speed limit, is always paying attention to the roads, and someone that doesn't go under the speed limit, that drives me
Yes,
nuts.
it's one thing to go 5 under, but when you're going 20 under, come
That's
on
a
now.
problem.
It's not raining.
Speed up a little
We
bit.
need you to
True.
carry
Move along. All right. I think it is someone who doesn't follow too closely. And the reason why I say this, and I'm just going to out him, my husband says when you get close enough to the other driver, they'll know to move on. But I don't like that. I think it puts all of us in danger. So I'm just going to air that grievance right there for everyone. Of course, there's a lot to safe driving, and it's not just one thing. So I want you guys to take a listen to this.
Wear your seatbelt. Make sure that you're not, using your phone, driving the speed limit, not being impaired, not riding with someone impaired. And those are what contribute overwhelmingly to the most fatals that we investigate.
All right, so keep those things in mind. And also, Geico has a list of defensive driving to keep you and your family safe. One of the big things, scan your surroundings continuously. That's right, you're supposed to check your mirrors, your rear view mirror, your side mirrors all the time, and scan intersections before you pass. Here's another one on the list, brake early. Leave a little more space between you and the car in front of you than you think you even need, which to me is key. All right, any last thoughts on what makes a good driver, or maybe someone you want to send this clip to maybe?
I got some people I want to send this clip to.
Well, that made me think about how when I was in driving school once, because I got a ticket back in the day, they talked about how you always have to be a defensive driver.
Yes.
Always on the lookout for everyone else around
Was
you.
back in the day last Tuesday, Stacey? I'm just checking.
I'm not going to say.
My wife says, I know this much. I am a late breaker, so I'm the one that comes up to somebody and and slows down. I don't, it's just habit, it's me too. But she says even after I've stopped, I stay too close to the car in front of me. She said if you can't see their tires, you're too close.
That is correct, yes. And for people who are behind you and stuff like that, I think to myself, like, dude, if I can't see all of your lights and stuff like that, you are way too close to me.
Yeah, that is really close.
I just don't like the people who drive super fast and they're like going in and out like motorcycles and stuff. It gives me so much anxiety.
All right, so what we want to say is be a good, respecting driver to all the people around you. That's right, 10 and 2, folks. We'll be right back.
Still pretty windy out there. We've seen that all day, haven't we, as this storm system moved by. The winds were howling this morning. Right now, at least within the last hour or so, the wind gust around 31 miles per hour in Greensboro, 24 Winston-Salem, 22 miles per hour Lexington and Asheboro at 28, Burlington 29. Now, if you look at the maximum wind gust today, or at least since midnight last night, it's 51 mile per hour wind gust in Greensboro. That's not surprising. I think I heard that myself last night. Asheboro at 37. We bump it up to 41 miles per hour for Galax and for Boone as well. There goes the system. Good riddance to that. We had a tornado warning down around Montgomery County and parts of southern Randolph earlier today, not confirmed. And it looks like this system is weakening now as it moves on to the east. Raleigh did have a tornado warning a while back around the airport there, but all of that heading on to the east. It'll be a Sand Hills and coastal plain issue for the next several hours until it finally clears our coastline. This is the cold front. That moves away. It'll still be windy tomorrow with some of the wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, and that high pressure will move in. Nice weekend, actually. I mean, sunny to partly cloudy there as that system, the high pressure is in control for a couple of days, and temperatures are good. In fact, on Sunday, we'll try to get to 70. We'll be up around 68 degrees, maybe a 70 here or there in the southern parts of the Piedmont. As far as the evening shower, can't rule that out. Clearing skies overnight in the late hours and that 51-degree overnight low, which means that'll be your step-out temperature tomorrow. Highs in the mid-60s Friday, Saturday, upper 60s Sunday. Monday's beautiful 70, and then low to mid-70s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, with a little rain Tuesday and Wednesday.
Aside from watching the Grammys on WFMY News 2 this weekend, you might want to catch up on some gardening. In today's U-Day moment, Coach Lamont shows how planting seeds can relate to your life.
Have you ever planted seed? I'm not a green thumb, but the process absolutely amazes me. First, it's planted in dirt, fertilized, watered, and provided sunlight, all for which are assisting in its growth. Now, I learned that the weight of the dirt crushes the seed to the point that the seed dies, releasing what's locked inside of it. How does this apply to you? Sometimes the weight of life can crush you, causing you to die to self. But instead of fighting the process, finish the process. It's assisting you to bring the best out of you. You can never emerge with the greatest testimony if you haven't experienced the crushing weight that life can sometimes throw at you. These things are inevitable and part of the human experience, but on the other side of the pain is a victory worth dying for. So let the dirt crush you. You're emerging a champion. This is Coach Lamont reminding you to have your best U-Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
I like the idea of gardening your life, sowing the seeds, you know, like the things you plant in your life early, develop later on. You know, I think that's true. That's almost like parenting, really, you know, as you tell your kids what to do. I think you can parent yourself, though.
Absolutely.
And I don't mean that like when you're a little kid. I mean, as an adult, you plant the right seeds in your mind and live that life you want to live, and then, you know, it flowers later.
Absolutely. And when he talked about being crushed as a seed, I think when we go through different phases in life, we have different problems. And once we accomplish those problems, they better prepare us for the next phase of our life.
Yeah, and I mean, gardening's not always the easiest. I mean,
No.
I tend to kill any plants that anything that I plant.
I don't have any plants.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, that's the reason why I don't. But it's kind of, I mean, life is hard and you have to really work at it to make it bloom and grow, I guess.
So, Chad Silver told me once he killed a cactus, so, you know.
How do you kill a cactus?
Kind of tough to do, isn't it, Chad? He's
right.
It needs sun, apparently.
He said it needs sun, apparently. It's
Don't
very
let
true.
him
We'll be right
watch
back.
your plants,
I had to
guess.
pick on him. He was right there.
Full screen again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Today, experts from Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist discuss heart.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hi, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check, check, check. Mic check.
Hello, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together.
Hey, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Did you say me? Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, I'm having IFB issues. Mic check 1, 2.
Hey there, it's time for my 2 cents, and since we're about 48 hours away from the Final Four and maybe the greatest game in college basketball history, we're going to do some jokes today. Yep, you can't wear your feelings on your sleeve right now, either one of you, Duke or Carolina fans. Here we go. I'm doing straight-faced, right? I'm not reacting. I'm just going to read these. This is fuel for your discussion over the next few days. All right, here we go. How many UNC student athletes does it take to change a light bulb? 0, because their tutors do it for them. What do you call the most beautiful girl on the Duke campus? A visitor. Why is it that every time I set my DVR to record The Biggest Loser, all I get is UNC basketball games? What's the difference between Coach K and God? God doesn't think he's Coach K. How do you get a UNC grad off your doorstep? You pay for the pizza. What is the difference between a Duke fan and a puppy? Eventually, the puppy stops whining. There you go. Thank you so much. Use at will, because I know you will. You'll be going at it. And trust me, there were many you can find online that you can't read on TV. So check those out on your own. I'm not responsible for that. Enjoy what could be the greatest game in college basketball history, but what is definitely the greatest rivalry in all of sports, this Carolina-Duke game coming up this weekend. That's just my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
Whipping